Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Samurai Goddess. The goddess next door takes on kung fu killers in this action-packed martial arts Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Samurai Goddess in paperback and e-readers today. I was watching a David Carroll video yesterday at the library, and he was talking about how these dysfunctional Afro-American Negro men will go out of their way to stalk you if they disagree with you. And this is something I could relate to because this is something I have experienced myself on social media. Now, back when I was writing my blogs related to men's issues on my blog, Shawn James Black Freelance Writer, I ran into such a dysfunctional Afro-American Negro about 2 or 3 years ago. And because this individual disagreed with the points I was making in a written blog, they just could not put a period at the end of things and move on. Now, I've been on the World Wide Web for 16 years, and back in the early 2000s, we didn't see guys like this going around following people all over social media just because they disagreed with them. If they saw a web page they didn't like, again, as I've said in numerous videos, they hit the red X at the top of the screen and they kept it moving. But these days, we have many of these dysfunctional Afro-American Negroes who don't seem to understand how a computer operates whenever they get butthurt and see opinions they don't like or hear opinions they don't like. So they're going to go out of their way to continue to try to convince you that their point is the right point. And I ran into this type of individual again 2 years ago, and they kept dropping comments on my blog. They kept trying to flood the comment section, and they kept trying to do things to try to needle me. Now, I would delete the comments and try to keep it moving. I would go and write about another subject. This individual would come, trying to start the arguments all over again based on another blog from a couple of years ago or a couple of months ago, looking to start stuff up. I would delete the comments and keep it moving. One day, this guy just pretty much kept trying to flood the comment section. I would delete it, he would come back and write more. I would delete it again, he would come back and write more. And this behavior, as I saw it, was just really, really dysfunctional. I mean, again, it reminded me of something David Carroll had said in one of his videos regarding this Afro-American Negro single mother and how she behaves. Because when it comes down to these Afro-American Negro women, they're going to make you hear what they're going to say no matter what. And they will follow you around to pretty much get their point across. They're not going to stop until they've said what they're going to say. And this is what this stalker was going to do to me. He was going to try to make his point no matter what, and I was going to listen to him. But, I did everything in my power to stop this guy, and I had to literally get to the point where I was doing things like making the comment section where you had to have a Google account to comment in the comment section to make this guy stop. This guy doesn't understand boundaries. He gets a Google account and then decides to keep commenting. I then turn the comment section completely off. And what happens? This guy comes over to my Facebook, creates a Shawn James Facebook account to try to stalk me. And it really, when I got to that point, I saw how insane these Afro-American Negro males are in their behavior. You pretty much see that you're not getting your point across on Blogger, a Google site, so you're going to go all the way over after the comment section has been turned off Blogger and head over to Facebook to follow me. That's dysfunctional when you think about it. Look at the miles this guy is going to follow somebody whose opinions they don't like online. That's completely insane. I mean, I thought about that and it was mind-boggling to me. You're going to sit there, read a blog for months on end featuring content you disagree with, then you're going to go out here, try to flood the comment section in an effort to try to needle this person. They then delete your comments. You then continue to write more comments. You then do things to make it where this guy can't continue to comment on your blog. And by saying you have to have a Google account, you go out of your way to go get a Google account, which is a lot of work, to go continue commenting on a blog you don't like. And then when the person turns off the comment section, Here you are going to this person's Facebook page, creating an account with the same name to try to harass this person. This is complete insanity when you think about it. And only in the twilight zone of the Afro American Negro does this make this any sense. I mean, any other person who has been online understands that, look, if I don't like the opinions presented on anybody else's page, I can just hit that red X and keep it moving. But many of these Afro American Negroes who come from these single mother households do not understand basic logic. They do not understand basic reason like that. They don't understand that you are not entitled to go to somebody else's page and get upset because you don't like the content. If you don't like the content, again, all you have to do is hit that red X and keep it moving. And this is where I could understand what David Carroll was talking about regarding these Negroes and how they will just literally stalk you and follow you from place to place, looking to keep the drama going. They're going to get their point across no matter what. They're going to make sure you hear them out, just like that single mother does to the child's father. When the child's father disagrees with them, she's going to follow him around the house. And then when the man gets ready to get up and leave the house, she's going to follow him out of the house. And then she's going to go wherever this man goes. He could be going to a bar or a restaurant. There she is. She's going to make sure she's going to hear her no matter what. And that's the same way these dysfunctional Negroes are online with this online stalking. Again, shows you the dysfunctional behavior modeled for them being manifested in their behavior. Because again, 16 years ago when I first came online back in 2000, I didn't see this kind of behavior at all. Back in 2000, when I was working at Strive at the AmeriCorps Vista program and I first got internet access to the internet, it was a very civil place. And if people disagreed, they agreed to disagree. And if they saw a website featuring content they didn't like, they just hit the red X and kept it moving. They understood that the whole concept of time, and this is something many of these Afro American Negroes don't understand, is the concept of time. Because they grew up in this single mother household and they saw this single mother sitting up on welfare, sitting up watching soap operas all day long, sitting up watching Jerry Springer all day long, sitting up gossiping with friends or going back and forth to the foreign owned store. They don't understand that the concept of time. Because if you understood the concept of time, you're not going to sit here and bicker and argue and go back and forth with someone over an opinion on a web page or a YouTube video. Because people who work and understand the concept of time, here's what they're going to do. They're going to say to themselves, you know what, my time is precious. I only have a certain amount of hours in a given day, a certain amount of hours to get things done, a certain amount of hours to complete things. And every second I take to go back and forth with this dysfunctional idiot online over an opinion, over a blog that happened 4 or 5 years ago, or a YouTube video that was put up maybe 2 or 3 years ago, is a waste of precious time. This is time that this Afro American Negro could have been using to do things like, oh, look for a job, or to go better himself in school, or to go read many of the hundreds of thousands of self-help video websites and watch many of the self-help videos that are on here online. All these tools and resources are here on this information superhighway, but this Afro-American Negro would rather sit here and bicker and argue with someone rather than take these same tools to go out here and improve himself. Again, wasting time, following the model that his single mother pretty much taught him from birth, how to waste time. Because that's what this Afro-American Negro does when he goes out here bickering and arguing and going back and forth with people online who he disagrees with. When he goes out here when he gets blocked on one YouTube channel from commenting and then goes out and creates another account to go to somebody else's page. That's a waste of time. If the guy has pretty much said, look, I disagree with you, and you continue to write nasty comments, and then you create other accounts and continue to follow people, that says how dysfunctional you truly are. I mean, for you to go, again, like in my case, the guy who was stalking me, to go from Blogger to Facebook, that's a waste of time. It clearly shows me how mentally ill many of these Afro-American Negroes are regarding content presented online regarding opinions. I mean, I can see hundreds of opinions online and it's not going to faze me. I've seen all sorts of content that pretty much is diametrically opposed to my Christian beliefs, but I'm not going to get upset about it because I understand that that's that person's opinion. I've seen racist websites from Ku Klux Klansmen, skinheads, not neo-Nazis. I don't get fazed by them. I see them in the traffic section of my blog on the regular. I don't get upset about them because I understand that's his right to express his freedom of speech, just like I have the right to express my freedom of speech. And the sad part is that Klansman, that neo-Nazi, that skinhead, and many of those others like atheists, they have a better sense of discipline regarding differences of opinion than this Afro-American Negro. You don't see any of those atheists, skinheads, neo-Nazis, and Klansmen going around stalking people's pages like you see this Afro-American Negro do. Only this Afro-American Negro, in many cases, is the only guy who will hear an opinion he doesn't like and then look to go and bicker and argue back and forth with the individual for 2, 3, and 4 years, not ever thinking about the concept of time and all the time this Afro-American Negro is wasting out of his life. I mean, I think about that and it's mind-boggling. You're going to lose 2, 3, 4, even 5 years out of your life to argue with someone. That's completely insane when you think about it. At 5 years of your life, you could have done so many different things. But this Negro, because again, he is dumb, will sit there and tell you, oh, I just wanted to prove my point. No, proving your point is very simple. You leave one comment and then you keep it moving. You don't keep going back and forth with people. You don't go into ad hominem attacks. You don't go into shaming tactics because that's what women do. Men, pretty much, if they see something and they disagree with it, they will drop one comment and keep it moving, or they'll just say, oh, I'm just going to hit the red X and keep it moving. They don't sit here and go back and forth trying to follow people, stalk people, harass people, and try to convince them that their opinion is the only opinion. The only place, again, I see this type of dysfunctional culture going on is among these Afro-American Negroes. And it's just sad to see this continue to transpire that, Afro-Americans, we're the ones who desperately talk about how our rights are being violated, but we're the ones who go out of our way to violate other people's rights. We're the ones who go out here harassing people, stalking people, making threats to people. And we're the ones who's talked about how civil rights are so important. But when you get an opportunity to show how much you value civil rights, what you do is you want to sit here and make your opinion the only opinion. Only a backwards group of individuals believe in acting this way. And I look at this Negro community raised by these black women, and this is the fruit of your culture. You want to create a fascist state where your way is the only way, and these Negroes pretty much are the fruit of your dysfunction because any other part of the population understands they can hit the red X and keep it moving. But this Afro-American Negro always looks to escalate things, always looks to argue, always looks to go back and forth, always looks for drama. And where does that behavior come from? Again, that single mother and that single mother household. Because ordinary men, again, can do something very simple, and that is put a period at the end of things, and when they see an opinion they disagree with, whether it be a web page, a blog, or a book, or whatever online, what they're going to do is hit that red X and keep it moving. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.